All right, now it's 12 o'clock where I'm at right now. So when this video come out, it's gonna be probably in the morning like usual. And this is a very short video because CJAX is not going all out with this video, so I don't blame him. Let's just get to the video.
Ladies and gentlemen, Smackdown was so bad. It is an hour and a half before the show is over, and I have shut it off. I nearly fell asleep about 40 minutes in after whatever the first match was, I forget. But after that, I almost fell asleep. Julia is one of the worst wrestlers of all time, okay? Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, this feud sucks. All of the matches, just listen to some of the stuff you got. Chris Sabin versus Tommaso Ciampa. Michin and B-Fab versus Piper Niven and whatever. I almost said Jessica Alba. Alba Fire, you know what I'm saying? You had Rey Fenix and Jimmy Uso versus some jobbers. I don't even remember. George Corn on the Cob and Jacob Fatu. This episode sucks. It sucks. This is how this episode's going to work, this review for this episode. I'm going to patch up and go back and see the things that I missed on tonight's episode and fill it in as the review goes on. I only saw the first hour and a half of the show, so I'm going to just review off that so far, and I'll add on the stuff I missed later. But SmackDown is dead. It's as simple as that. WWE is dead. The company is failing at every single metric. The viewership has tanked. The merch sales are down. You think that Karrion Kross selling some of the top merch is good? That's a bad thing. Because there's maybe 100,000 people in the entire world that have that t-shirt. Which means that nobody's actually buying any of this merchandise. Because nobody cares. You understand that? Nobody's buying these Karrion Kross shirts for real. They maybe have 100,000 people globally that have that t-shirt, man. And it's sold out. That lets you know how many little amounts of people are actually buying the merchandise because nobody cares.
That's how I feel about the Living Dom shirts. I mean, is anybody even wearing these shirts? I mean, or are they just wearing it for a shout out on Instagram or Twitter? It's just ridiculous, man.
It's trash content. While every single week we get bad booking, bad stories, bad feuds, bad matches, lackluster and uneventful, and just no effort on any of these shows, any of the PLEs. It's embarrassing, man. And you know it. Now, last year, obviously, once Cody won the championship, things became awful. Triple H obviously had, Cody as champion and all the other champ. Gunther became world champ, all that stuff. The summer of last year's WWE and the latter parts of 2024 were horrible. Mania build was incredible. You were glued to your screen for SmackDown and Raw. The Rock showing up, Roman showing up. Rollins and Rhodes were actually doing interesting things. You had all the mid-card feuds and the average matches were solid. And SmackDown was 2 hours so you could actually get it over with and had solid content throughout. Now we have a 3-hour SmackDown with no star power, no creativity, and garbage segments every single second, man. It is impossible to watch this show now. It is unwatchable. When it goes to 2 hours and Cena's there more often, and maybe you add Dr. Libations back in the mix, Roman comes back, etc. Once you do that, maybe it'll just barely be watchable. But right now at 3 hours, this is unwatchable. I will never, ever watch a 3-hour episode of SmackDown in its entirety ever again. Probably. It's not going to happen. Hopefully it goes back to 2 hours like it's supposed to in June or July, but until then, it's a disaster, bro. This company is a failure, and amidst it going through these awful struggles, we have to sit here and see Triple H on his little Twitter video segment talking about how Money in the Bank is going to New Orleans. I don't give a crap about it going to New Orleans. This is a disaster, man. We get WrestleMania in Las Vegas again for money. It's over, and you know this. It's done.
I have a video from Tag Team Twinning where she talks about how she feels bad for Triple H for making this promo about New Orleans for Money in the Bank in 2027. Let's listen.
I feel so bad for Triple H, like having to deliver this news and say that Money in the Bank is now going to be in New Orleans and WrestleMania next year is not, after The Rock has this huge announcement in front of a SmackDown crowd before Elimination Chamber about WrestleMania 42 being in New Orleans in the first place. Like, this entire thing felt so odd to me. So Triple H just announced on Instagram that Money in the Bank is now going to be held in New Orleans. But not only that, they're going to disclose the new location for WrestleMania shortly. And Money in the Bank is after SummerSlam, which I think is so weird. And that wasn't the only thing that I got from this message. I felt like when Triple H was delivering this message, it was almost as if he didn't want to be delivering it. Like he was apprehensive and just like it wasn't coming from him, which it probably wasn't. TKO is a higher power. I know this decision was definitely made by them, but I just almost felt like bad for him watching that Maybe it was me reading into it. If you haven't seen it already, just go on Instagram. He's tagged with TKO and it's on the Instagram. But I'm confused by a number of things in this message. When was the last time Money in the Bank was after SummerSlam? Now I feel like we're going to have this weird gap and lull from WrestleMania 42 all the way to SummerSlam. Money in the Bank keeps things exciting in between and just keeps things going for WWE. So I feel like this is interesting, the whole thing. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are and if you caught the same vibe that I did with Triple H.
No, I don't. And I hope this is not true because honestly, I don't know what to say at this point. I keep telling people over and over, go watch AEW and NXT. Don't watch this, okay? If you don't watch this, they'll make changes, all right? You're going to have to figure it out. Why can't everybody just do it each other a favor and just don't watch the main roster? Don't watch it. You know what I mean? Don't watch it. Go watch NXT, give it some more hype, and go watch AEW and give it more hype. That's the answer. Boycott. You know what I'm saying? If we could get each superstar to speak out and walk out of the company, we will make some changes. But until then, this is nothing. I mean, I don't understand why you guys keep allowing this to happen. If you guys are ride or die fans, you will talk about it and complain about it, but you won't do it. So I don't know how this is going to go until September. I really don't. Because it's starting, a lot of news reports are coming out. A lot of changes are coming out. And honestly, I don't know how long the fans are going to continue to keep this up. At some point, you're going to have to tell the truth. And the truth is that WWE is falling apart and nobody's calling it out. No superstar is calling it out because they won't stop allowing the money take over their brains. You know what I mean? It's just so ridiculous, man. The decisions that they're making right now is just not going so well. And that's why I just decided to say, yo, I'm going to promote AEW. I'm going to promote NXT, because who cares about this? You guys are going to continue to watch it. You're going to continue to brain feed this because you guys are so obsessed with WWE that you don't even want to try out the other ones. I don't care if you guys don't like AEW. AEW have every match I have seen from AEW don't piss me off. You can't find all the matches I have seen from AEW, you can't find one match that is considered mid or bad or garbage. You can't tell me. Even if you say, oh, this match is garbage. Okay, that's your opinion. But all you gotta do is just look at my reaction videos for the women, and I reacted to it, and I wasn't bored. Okay, the only match that was mid was Chris Stanlander versus Widow. But other than that, every other match was great. I love the Megan Bayne match. I love the Anna Jay match. I love the Fatal 4-Way match, the Eliminator match for both ends. It was great. And you guys still watching WWE? Hey, listen. The only reason I keep reporting it is because of the Judgment Day story. Other than that, every other story is just completely not it. You feel me? So I'm going to focus on the women's division more than I'm going to focus on the men because the men ain't doing shit. But just doing shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But whatever. At least we got AEW Double or Nothing for this Sunday. And I will be going live at 8 o'clock. So let's continue with this video. It's not that long. So let's keep going.
Everything I've said for the last year dang near at this point is come to pass. Triple H has continued to give us horrible storylines and has ruined the creativity and the quality of the product. And TKO has not done any favors by giving these garbage, ticket prices. They're outpricing the fans and giving you bad product. If you want to charge people a lot of money for the product, then cool. But the product better be a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. Is this current product a 10 out of 10 to you? No. Just look at the matches we're getting, man. Why would anybody want to watch Chris Sabin versus Tommaso Ciampa on a 3-hour Smackdown in 2025? I saw fans yawning. I saw some of the worst botches of my life. This is a disaster, man, and it will be treated as such. This Smackdown review tonight may be 12 minutes or maybe 10 minutes around that point because there's nothing to talk about. Nothing's happening. We're a day before Saturday Night Main Event, and it feels like nothing is happening tomorrow because that's exactly what's going to happen. It's a house show coming in tomorrow, so I'm absolutely done with this. Let's get into the review. We started off with a promo segment. Tiffany Stratton basically comes out and talks about Tiffy time for the 5 billionth time, okay? She basically brings up the fact that she beat Charlotte, she beat Nia Jax, and she says, Savannah, Georgia, what time is it? And then, she says Tiffy time. Then Alexa Bliss basically comes out, and Alexa Bliss says that, she cashed in her Money in the Bank contract once upon a time too, and she cashed it on Nia Jax. But she liked Nia Jax, and she doesn't know Tiffany Stratton. And then she basically says, be careful because your rise to the top in that championship will be just as fast as your downfall.
I hate that CJ couldn't give this segment more light because I think Alexa Bliss killed this segment. I ain't gonna lie, she when she's on that mic, man, I don't know. It don't sound like a script. When Alexa Bliss talk, it don't sound like a script. It sounds like her actual thoughts of, actually put into some creativity in her mindset. You feel me? I told you. Alexa Bliss is the GOAT when it comes to that mic, and she don't need a script to do it. So if CJAX don't give her no light, I'm going to go ahead and give her some light. You know what I'm saying? That Firefly light. You know what I mean? Shout out to Alexa Bliss for that mic check. You feel me? Tropical's bomb for Alexa Bliss for being the greatest mic checker of all time.
Then Charlotte Flair gets booed out of the arena and basically claims that she takes whatever she wants, which, you know what, whatever. Then Tiffany Stratton basically calls them both old. She says, you're both kind of vintage for me. You're the standard and I am the upgrade. And when it's always going to be Tiffy time. And then she basically, gets off the mic. And then Charlotte and Alexa Bliss stand there. And then Julia comes out. And we get to witness one of the worst women's triple threat matches ever. There is an egregious botch. I'm going to play the video for you right here. This botch was egregious. This is one of the most unacceptable botches of all time. Just unacceptable, man.
Looked like Julia was trying to dance right there.
This is horrible. The crowd's not even reacting to it. No one knows what's happening in the clip. It's a bad move, and Julia has no idea what she's doing. She botched multiple moves in this match. Charlotte had a couple botches because she's clearly the only good in-ring wrestler in that entire match, And Zelina Vega is just botching moves left and right as well. And this is the product you get on a Smackdown show. And you wonder why last week's Smackdown got record low viewership for the show and the program over the last 30 years it's been a thing. 20, 30 years, whatever. Just imagine how low the viewership's going to be for this week. Just imagine it, man. It's done. And you know it. Then we get to the next segment, or next match. Chris Sabin versus Chris Sabin versus Tommaso Ciampa. I'm skipping this. Nobody cares. Candice LeRae comes back and helps Tommaso Ciampa win the match. Nobody cares.
Well, I care. Shout out to Candice LeRae for helping out her man, Johnny. Wish she would be in the qualifying match, but it is what it is. Hey, I'm just glad that she's back doing something besides sitting in the back doing nothing. So, shout out to Candice.
Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre then brawl. Nobody cares. And then we get to a point where we have Piper Niven and Alba Fire versus Michin and B-Fab, okay? There's no pops throughout this whole match because nobody cares. This match doesn't lead to anything. That's the problem with SmackDown. You get a bunch of monotonous, boring segments and ads to fill the time slots out, but nothing's leading to anything.
Well, at least she wrestled. I mean, shoot, Alba hasn't been booked in weeks. So the fact that she was able to wrestle, that was good. That's good.
So you get this match, and nobody cares about anything that's happening inside of it, okay? So basically, Piper Niven and Jessica Alba, I'm just going to call her Jessica Alba. Jessica Alba basically loses this match.
Hey, for that's so disrespectful, bro.
Piper Niven and Michin dude, whatever. We're skipping this match. Michin and B-Fab won the match. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about any of this. Then the last thing I saw was a Jimmy Uso and Rey Fenix versus Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo match. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that JC Mateo and Jacob Fatu got this W, but I'll cover it in a second after I go watch the highlight, because that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to watch the highlights for the rest of the stuff I missed and fill it in and finish up the review in another 5 to 6 minutes max. There's nothing to speak of. I'm not going to force something out when they have nothing to give us because SmackDown is so bad. So I'm done, man. I'm done. I'm done. If they're not going to put effort into it, I don't give a crap anymore, bro. This show sucked. It's awful. I'll fill the rest in and we'll add it on. And now I've caught up on the stuff that I've missed. Basically, as I predicted, Jacob Cobb or Jeffrey Cobb, corn on a cob, have your corn with a side of mashed potatoes. I don't know. Jeffrey Corn Cobb and Jacob Fatu beat Jimmy Uso and Rey Fenix, I'm pretty sure. And then it's revealed that Jacob Fatu is going to have a qualifying match for the Money in the Bank next week. Obviously, I'm sure there will be some type of shenanigans with him and Solo, and he'll end up losing this match, but there you have that. Then we also get R-Truth cutting a promo. It's 2025, and R-Truth is cutting a promo while the person he's cutting a promo against isn't even in the building. That is what you are getting on SmackDown now, because everyone that's good or any meaning in this company is a part-timer. So R-Truth cuts a promo basically saying to John Cena the same stuff he's been saying for the last week, because this match has no build. It's not even for the belt, which honestly, if R-Truth can pin John Cena tomorrow because this match is for nothing, I think that would actually be great. That would actually be really good, and I would actually commend Triple H if he booked it like that.
And treat it like an Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley match? I don't know about that, man.
That's just me. Anyways, he basically says he's going to beat Cena. He's going to beat the sense back into him. And he doesn't know if he can save Cena from the person that he's becoming, because this isn't him. And if John Cena wins, he riots, okay? We riot. That's what R-Truth's whole promo was. This is pretty embarrassing to have this segment even exist. But you know what? I'm kind of down for this feud, even though it's not really a feud. It's a 2-week program with one person showing up and the other one's at home. So, there you have that.
It's still a great promo, man. R-Truth killed that shit, man. I ain't gonna lie. He killed that promo. Like, believe it or not, he did. Whether Cena was there or not, he did kill that promo. Besides the what's from the crowd, he killed the promo. So shout out to him.
Then we get LA Knight basically rolled up, D-Lister Black hit the black mass on Shinsuke, and then LA Knight swooped in and got the cover. So LA Knight is going to Money in the Bank, baby. This is the only great part of the night, because I really do think LA Knight's going to win this Money in the Bank. I think it's his time, and I think that they're not going to give us, a situation where we think LA Knight's going to do something. I think they actually are going to go through and have him win the Money in the Bank in a couple weeks. So I'm looking forward to him eventually having that match, and hopefully he wins. If he doesn't win, then it'll just be another botched Money in the Bank event like last year.
Drop a clues bomb for LA Knight, goddammit.
Then we have Zelina Vega versus Chelsea Green is officially announced for tomorrow night's Saturday Night Main Event. No one cares about this, so let's move on. And then we get the main event, which is Street Profits versus Fraxium. And at the end of this match, basically the long story short, obviously Fraxium has a new Def Rebel intro music. Their theme song is absolutely horrendous, man. It's so bad. It's so corny, but, it's expected at this point.
Okay, I just want to stop the video real quick to let y'all know that Raquel got some new merch for the summer, dog. And it's black and gold. It's going down for real. Now, the price is not right, but hey, the shipping is free with the code on the bottom. So you already know, if you got an extra 40, go ahead and cop this merch, because this merch is on fire. And this girl is on fire. Raquel is off the scale with this merch, dog. And also the link is going to be on the bio, so you already know. Let's get back to the video. Raquelio!
And then the Jobber 6 that I predicted would eventually become, basically just become oblivious jobbers that would never be on the show, like literally at all. Hence why they haven't been on the show in probably like 5 or 6 months at this point. But they basically return at the end of this and beat up the Profits and beat up DIY and, beat up Fraxium. And now we're supposed to care about this, even though everyone knows dang well no one cares about this. They're jobbers. Half the crowd had already left the arena by this point, so no one even saw this. It's over. The Wyatt Six is a failed experiment, and I'm glad that I didn't waste my time even tuning into this match. What are the Wyatt Six going to do now? Win tag belts that nobody cares about? Do nonsense matches that'll be cool for 1 minute and then they'll be trashed the rest of it and no one will talk about it after it's done? That's what we're going to get? Nobody cares about this. It's time to move on, man. The Wyatt Six did have a birthday cake with them, obviously, because today I think marks Bray Wyatt's what would have been his, 39th birthday or something like that. It would have been his birthday. You get the point. So, yeah, rest in peace to Bray Wyatt, obviously, and that's basically that. But other than that, that was pretty much SmackDown. This is easily one of the worst SmackDown episodes of all time. It was a waste of time, and I'm glad I didn't sit here and watch this for 3 hours, and I watched an hour or so of it live and then moved on, because that's exactly what this show deserved. This was garbage. It gets a 1.5 out of 10, and that's all I got to say about that. I will be reviewing Saturday Night mid-event tomorrow, and I'll see you guys for that. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you for watching. Have a phenomenal day. Peace out and one love.
All right, well, so here's the update on the qualifying match for next week. Most likely it will be Jay, Nia, and Naomi. And for the men, it will be Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, and Jacob Fatu. Damn. Well, at least Carmelo's in it. But here's the 4 contestants. Now we're just waiting for the next 2. So hopefully it'll be Raquel and Naomi. Here's the list that I think it's going to be for next week. Hopefully it'll be this. Maxine, Kyle James, and Raquel Hernandez. Hopefully it'll be that. And tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, because when this video come out, it's going to be today. Saturday night's main event, 8 o'clock. I will be going live, and I'll catch y'all there. And don't forget, Sunday, there will be NXT Battleground and AEW Double or Nothing. And they started both times, so I will be going live for both ends. So get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and share if you're new. And I'll catch y'all tomorrow for Saturday night's main event. All right, I'm out.